Good man.
Gotta get those levels right.
I'm a sick man. I go out. I don't even.
Here we go.
Man, swear.
Oh, fuck, blew it. Ready?
Man, swear. I mean, man,
This time. Third time lucky. Go.
man, swear.
Oi!
Man,
Shit. I think we're on. This is the Christmas special.
Check. Merry Christmas. Oh, got food in your bag?
Nah, no food in my bag. Definitely not.
Chill, Saf. Good girl.
Hey, Sashi. Hello.
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's the Christmas special.
That's the Christmas special. Here we are in Melbourne, and I'm here with Paulus. How's it?
Good.
We haven't talked much. We've been saving it for this little chat.
Yeah, we tried to.
Yeah.
We keep getting onto different subjects.
Cheers. Where's
Stop.
your beers, bros? Where's your beers?
Use the mic. Cheers,
Shank,
mate.
Shank.
Thanks for having me.
Other way around. Thanks for having me.
Man, my mate Duncan's awesome photo is off center, and that's going to annoy me if I ever.
This one?
Yeah. Just in the
Whoa.
frame.
That is a cool photo.
Dunker graphic. Shout out.
That's primo.
Yeah.
I hear footsteps.
Oh, yes.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi, Helena.
Do you want to come on a podcast?
Good timing. We just started.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
I just shut it. All good.
Should
Now
we keep it down a little bit? Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's because, yeah,
There's going to be heaps of that.
there might be a little bit of that. I'm Jolan, by the way. Kia ora.
This is a good intro.
That's actually a really good intro.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, you guys.
What time do they finish? Yeah, so we've got a tarot reading class out the front, which we usually have rowdy, sangria and ceramics, like rowdy classes, but you've come on the most quietest class day of the year. So,
Oh, my God.
yeah,
So let's just try and, it's going to be so hard for me to try and, contain myself.
your throaty, loud laugh.
I know, and I'm definitely a loud person too.
That's
Okay.
all good. We'll be fine.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we are in your epic fucking 2-leveled giant studio thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walked through downstairs, there was a little tarot reading class.
Mm-hmm.
And was that your missus? Is she leading that?
No, so
Oh, she's
she's
just
the
part of it.
curator. Yeah,
Ah,
she
so- Does she partake in the reading, or is she just there to oversee it?
No, it's definitely not our thing. No disrespect to
To the tarot
all the
group.
tarot heads out there.
Tarot heads.
Yeah, it's it's not our thing. But yeah, it's just one of the classes we have on here.
Crazy.
There's the other quiet ones are tantra.
Not tantric.
Oh, tantric, is it? Yeah,
Same thing, yeah,
tantric sex.
tantric sex stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah, big time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you joining in on that or what? I would be.
I know
Have you been
it's a bit.
tempted?
It's a lot of pressure.
I suppose it is.
Once you're clued up, then I've I've wanted to dabble, but
Yeah.
I don't want the pressure of having that knowledge and then having to perform for
So
like the police.
let's talk about tantric because I'm quite intrigued. I started following this chick in Aussie.
Well, you'll know more than me then.
She's
Okay.
called Embodied Awakening or something. Anyway, she's this big tantric chick, and she holds these big sessions. Might even be the same chick.
No, it's not.
Oh, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
right. Anyway, I've seen her videos. I don't know how I got into it, but it just popped up, and I was like, "This seems horny. I'm keen." So,
Yep.
what do? They sort of, it's all about energy, and it's more about a spiritual connection rather than just fucking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard stories that you can have real long sessions, sexual sessions
Yeah.
that go for ages, and yeah, like climax even lasts like heaps longer than.
Well, that
it
part
normally
sounds
should.
good.
Yeah.
8 hours of fucking does not sound good though.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's the old legend of was it Sting from the Police?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was into it.
Yeah. He has those big
Big
sessions.
tantric guy.
Yeah.
I've got a funny story about it actually. Well, it might not be funny, but it's a story. So this muso guy who was kind of like, well, he was a mentor of mine. Sorry, my stories do go on for some time,
Please.
but I'll try and bring it down a little smidge. So basically, he used to work at the Polytechnic in Greymouth. He was an audio engineer guru guy.
Yeah.
So he taught audio engineering, and he was also this shredder guitarist, like classic, loved the old Dire Straits and Pink Floyd and all that shit, all that stuff.
Well, that's a good start.
Oh yeah, yeah. And him and his missus have been together for a while, and we had staff drinks one time, and we started talking about tantric sex, and he was talking about it and saying that he has lovemaking sessions that go for like 2 or 3 hours, and I was just baffled.
Whoa.
And I don't think that you're just like pounding hard out. I think it's more about you jump into a position and you just sort of cruise.
That's how I imagine. And
yeah. Like I think you sort of do the whole face to face, where she's sort of straddling you, and then it's just like you just sort of cruise there for a bit. It's weird, eh?
Only when I look you in the eyes.
Oh my god!
You help out your laugh really good just then. Your loud laugh.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's there. It's ready to go.
Respect,
So,
man. Respect.
Maybe I'll do that high pitched one.
We can do a follow-up podcast one day and just let loose. We'll get like a soundproof room. Just go in.
It's fucking cool to be in here though, because it would have been shit in the tiniest little shit box that Frank booked us. Actually, no, Nicole, his missus, booked us. They'd actually stayed there before. It's a sick location, so tight, so close to town.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's literally 2 single beds in a room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ambiance.
Yeah, that's the classic
Wouldn't have been there.
classic box,
Yeah.
I lived in one of those for a couple of years back in the day. Yeah.
Whereabouts?
In Christchurch. Yeah.
Poplar.
The classic box.
Not Poplar.
No, that was kind of like this, but
yeah,
way smaller. But did you come to Poplar?
No, but I knew it well.
Some of the Greymouth boys did.
Did they?
I'm trying to think when the last time I saw you was.
Yeah, when was that?
Because I was like my kind of point of reference is straight to the earthquake, because that's when I moved here. So I'm like, oh yeah, 2011. So that was.
So then would have been before that, probably.
2022. My math is like 10, 11 years ago.
So it would have been before that, on some sort of either a strike mission to the coast, or if I bumped into you in Christchurch sometime, eh?
Yeah, so more than 11 years ago. That's crazy. Although you did jump on a Zoom chat with me when we had the crazy lockdowns here, which I very much appreciate.
That was cool. And it did feel like you needed that bit of connection, from back home.
Oh yeah, man. I can all those calls that I had with old mates, I can remember every single one of them, and I'll never forget them, because it was like the most exciting thing that happened all month. Yeah. So
what was it like? It was pretty hectic around here, for lockdowns,
Yeah, it was hectic in the way that you were just in a like people were protesting and carrying on, and I was just getting on with it. I just saw it as like a bit of a challenge. Because everything's shut. You can only leave the house twice a day for exercise or to walk the dog. Luckily, we had a dog. So that was an excuse to just kind of leave whenever you want, take the dog for a shit. But like the trip to the supermarket became like really exciting. Oh yeah, and we had the supermarket called Aldi, like just opened around the corner from us. Which is like, I don't know if you have it in NZ. Yeah. It's like a European, I think it's European based, where they just have like one of everything. So you know how like in let me see, Countdown. It can Countdown you have, or Woolies, or any of that, you have just not even just a whole floor to ceiling rack of let's say dishwashing liquid. You have like a line, like multiple racks, all dishwashing liquid, all different brands, like, you know, and they're all competing for price and
this one's just
attention.
one.
Yeah,
It's kind of refreshing.
It's so good, man. Yeah, and it's all super cheap, and yeah, kind of off-brand stuff that you've never, weird, like yeah, European brands. I don't know, but
Expenny though.
that's like the cheapest, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Random.
But then they have this like big aisle of like random shit, and like they put out these like weekly or like bi-weekly catalogs where okay, on this date there might be like an air compressor for like $50, or like,
jeez,
like
random
power tools and like camping gear and all this random shit. And it just comes in, and you and it was the most exciting thing in lockdown. It's like, fuck yeah, hope I get this camping chair for $10 or whatever, you know.
How did you feel when it all cracked out? Were you scared about the virus when, like, because for me personally, I was peaking. I was like, the media got to me. I was actually quite concerned. Were you the same? Did you feel peaked out?
Yeah. It was a natural reaction. Yeah, I couldn't help it, and I'm not like ashamed of it. I was like, I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
I had a mate over in Spain at the time.
Shit.
When like Italy went off first, and
that was the big one. Italy, everyone's like dying,
and you got the news where it was like just triage. They were like choosing who to save and stuff. And then them, and then Spain had a gnarly lockdown, and I was like zooming him like, what's it like, man? And it just looked crazy. Like, and so
was your mate like, yeah, it's real bad, or nah? He was like, nah, it's mellow.
He's a Scotsman, so he's like, I don't give a fuck. So I was like,
drink some piss.
Yeah, drink some beers, and I was doing the same thing. Like, yeah, fair enough.
Did your alcohol intake go up? Because mine definitely did.
Mate, it went up and down.
Oh, up and down.
Oh yeah, I had some. Yeah, it was 250 days, like almost a year. Like I had lockdown. Yeah, I had peaks and I had like low times, and yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was such a nuts experience.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I look back and think, what the fuck did we all just go through? Especially countries like us, like Aussie and New Zealand and Canada and the States and the UK, like the Five Eyes. We all went through that massive lockdown and like the extreme fear propaganda. I don't know how you feel about the whole thing, but were you, to put you on the spot, did you feel like, did you get sucked into the whole anti-vax thing, or did you get sucked into the mainstream media, or were you like on the fence? Were you just sort of watching from the sidelines?
Yeah, I thought I'd turn that off. That's a great question, Jolan. 1 second, mate.
Why, thank you.
Sorry, buddy.
Why, thank you.
I'm good at asking questions. Just to throw it. No, I got it that time. Yeah, good question. Yeah, not anti-vax, but I was skeptical about everything because you had so much time to think about it. Some people had too much time to think about it. I luckily kept working through it.
That's good. So you did you have to get jabs or?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
Cool. That's so good.
Yeah, I'm self-employed, yeah. And but I thought I was gonna lose all my work. One of my clients just dropped me straight away. We're like, shit. And I was like, oh no, here we go. This is gonna get crazy. And yeah, my partner like lost all the business. Their business basically shut down, but then there was all the government help and stuff. But so I kept working, so I was keeping busy, but you know, couldn't help getting sucked into some. But I was just, it's hard. You can't say like I was doing research, and I was just keeping my mind open.
Yeah, good.
As soon as someone says I was doing research, they were just watching weird YouTube videos usually.
Do you know that as soon as you say the R word these days, you get labeled a fucking crackpot? Like, I've done some research. Oh yeah,
have you?
Sure, you have.
Have you ever tried to read a scientific paper? Like, have you?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh my god.
It's gobbledygook.
Mm.
You can't. It's yeah. So when anyone says does research, it's basically I've watched a few YouTube vids
Yeah.
and I've listened to a few podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is probably a little bit more than your average Joe or Josephina watching mainstream TV 1 or 3 or whatever
Yeah.
Prime News, right? It's a bit more. It's a little bit
A
more.
little bit more research. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, my homie, shout out Farid. He wrote I think it was a thesis, some paper on like tattoo and like origins of tattoo and stuff like this.
Cool.
And I was like, yes, I can actually get into this scientific paper. And sorry if I only made it like halfway through, but I was like, this
Too heavy.
It's just the way you have to write them.
Oh yeah.
Just constantly
it's like a thesis,
referring to other scientific things. And it's like almost unreadable for like a like for fun.
Yeah, it's a scholarly pursuit. It's not like a Sunday chill zone. I'm gonna read this.
Yeah, exactly. So fuck you haven't done research. Because it's hard. That's so hard. If you know, unless you're doing it full time.
Yeah.
You just been watching YouTubes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So self-employed, are you still doing sort of techie computer stuff, programming, or are you doing other stuff now?
Yeah, yep, still programmer. Well, coder, I think you call it these days. Yep. Web developer.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, it's going good.
People still need people to make websites and shit.
Yeah.
Build them up.
Yeah, that didn't really fall through that industry. So
yeah.
Which
is great.
Dead lucky with that. That's kind of why I got into it as well.
Yeah.
I was like, this sounds like this was so long ago. Over 15 years ago. I was like, this seems like a profession that I can do on a beach.
Yeah.
On a laptop from anywhere. And it also doesn't seem like it'll just disappear in one day.
No.
So
I did think though, like I thought that with the whole how you can sort of just build your own websites in these days, that might have made jobs like yours a bit more harder to,
For sure.
Yeah, but
I did like that would bury one part of the industry, but then also someone has built that program.
Right.
Which, you could be one of them.
True.
Or there are people that still don't want to use a computer. So that just becomes the tool that you use.
Yeah.
And your job became easier, essentially.
Yeah. So you could actually just like grab this other tool and be like, yeah, I'm just going to make your website and just jump into this one and go.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of expanded it, like expanded the industry.
Yeah.
Because like Helen and my partner, she's better using, like I tried to use Squarespace for a client because they requested it and I was losing the plot, like swearing at the computer. I was like, okay, no, I'm done with this. Like I was getting so frustrated because I come from an old school coding background where I built everything by hand. And I was trying
HTML and JavaScript,
yeah, mate.
HTML,
yes, CSS. Yeah. And I was just getting frustrated having to use this tool. And then, but Helen is really good at using those tools. She uses a bunch of them. So that move could open the door for other people in the industry. Just cool. I'm sorry. I keep sniffing because I got the hay fever. It's mad.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know what you're up to, eh? It's the pollen, bro. It's the pollen.
So I'm going to be even more nasally and monotonous than usual. Sorry, listeners.
You're the mad nasal tones, eh? There's just so many topics I could talk to you about. You've been in bands. You created one of the most amazing sites in New Zealand bodyboarding history.
Oh yeah,
we have to really delve into that.
Yeah.
Let's go there now.
All right. Yeah.
As we were talking about, it's
a good segue.
It's a good segue.
I know the lingo, man.
Segue is a weird word because it's SEGUE, right?
Is it?
Yeah. There's no WAY. You'd think it was WAY.
Is it the same word as?
It's like Segu.
Okay. I did not know that.
Didn't you? Yeah.
today. Oh, TIL. Today I learned.
Today you learned.
But there's a Segway, that stupid like two-wheeler vehicle thing.
I wonder how that's spelled.
I reckon it's spelled
With the W?
the way I'm thinking.
Do you reckon?
SISEGWAY, I think.
It might
Segway.
be.
That's
but
how it is in my head.
Trust me, it's GUE, which is odd.
Yeah, dope.
It's
Like
very
Q.
odd. Yeah.
Q. Anyway.
So we've segued through to techie stuff. Isolated.co.nz. Because I know a lot of the listeners will just be fizzing about this little topic. How the fuck did it all start? What was the
Man,
what
I'm trying to think if I
inspired you?
still own the domain now.
Who knows?
I hope someone cool owns it. If I don't.
Who would actually jump
Damn.
in and buy it? No.
I don't know, a tent company or something. I hope it's not something stupid. Remind me after
It'll
this.
be in New Zealand, some sort of thing, because you wouldn't. No one from Way would choose .co.nz, right?
Yeah, right.
Isolated.
It's not like Aussie where you can't buy .com.au.
True.
Yeah, they've locked it down. They're
Oh.
the only country in the world that
Government's regulated.
they've
that.
locked it
Oh,
down.
that's
So you
bullshit.
have to have an ABN, like a tax number, to get it. It's a flex, man. I mean, so after this tonight, can you remind me to buy it? Because someone's going to buy it once this comes out.
And then that doesn't like.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Where did that start?
That was my question. So
I'm keeping this on track.
thanks, mate.
How did that all?
Actually, should we segue back to our comms fail?
Oh yeah.
So like, I was messaging Paulus today because we've been talking for a couple of weeks. Because I said to him, "Hey, bro, I'm coming to Melbourne for this gig." Because by the way, I'm coming to Melbourne for this gig, which is on Friday. It's gonna be sick. Millen Colin, No Effects, Bring Me the Horizon,
No Effects,
Soulfly, Gojira, fucking Regurgitator. There's so many cool bands actually.
Hell yeah.
But anyway,
we'll do a follow-up pod after that.
Yeah. I hit up Paulus a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "What are you up to? I'm coming to your city that you live in, so let's hang out." And then I was like, "Fuck, should we do a potty?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure thing. That's sweet." And then I was messaging Paulus today, and I was getting no replies. I sent like a barrage of texts, like at 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I got nothing. And then it was like 5 o'clock. Then I got nothing. I was at 6 o'clock. I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm starting to get paranoid now." He's not keen. And then
about midday, I was looked at Instagram. You had nothing. I was like, okay,
because you were anticipating me to contact you.
Yeah. And I was like just hanging around here, like had the day off work, so I was like,
I gotta come.
Yeah,
I was so keen to come over earlier
like,
as well.
I
was so keen.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just hang out. And I actually started working on my hydroponic system, adding a new level on it and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is actually good. I'm
getting Jolan?
Fucking over it. Like 5 hours later, I'm like, why has he not hit me up?
Yeah.
I was like, I might just get on there and see. And then I had all these messages. Turns out I'd turned off notifications.
Classic.
We can talk about social media later, but yeah.
The old classic no-nos.
Yeah, muted everything.
Yeah.
And poor Jolan was, so I'm 3 beers deep. Still keen to hang out. Sorry, bro. Yeah, come over.
So apologies because I had 10 spicy pork dumplings.
Oh yeah.
So
am I gonna smell it soon?
You're gonna get burps, bro.
Oh, burps.
You're gonna get those burps, not farts. You're gonna get those
burps.
Burps.
Some people say burps are worse.
They are, I reckon, especially with dumpos.
Yeah.
Dumpos and sausage rolls from Dudukin. The sausage roll. What is it? It's the beef and cheese sausage roll. That'll be the smelliest burps for 4 hours. It's the worst. I even hate it myself, and I'm the one burping.
Good filler. Sorry, I just sneezed.
I'm good at that. We'll fill it up.
I think I've got a sneeze button here. We're back.
Nice.
Yeah, sweet.
So anyway, back to Isolated Origins. What year was it in that you had the thought?
Fuck. Okay. I'm not one of those.
You're not a year guy?
Do you listen to Henry Rollins talk ever?
Sometimes.
He's like, oh yeah, we played that show in
And he can pinpoint the date.
1984, and the place and the date. Yeah, I just
not
don't
gonna
have
do
that brain, man.
No, neither.
And some people can just be like, "Oh yeah, that was 2000."
But I
As I was saying before, I've only got one point of reference now, and it was that earthquake in Christchurch, so 2011.
Yeah.
But yeah, when was that? I'm gonna say,
Don't my burp. Here it comes.
and then
Sorry. Derailed.
oh, my nose is blocked.
Oh,
Dude.
perfect.
Got the
You
hay
got the hay
fever.
fever.
Safe.
This is great.
So yeah, and also my arithmetic sucks. So, which
Your
is weird.
literacy. Oh no, your numeracy is pretty bad.
Yeah, which is weird for a coder.
Yeah, true.
So usually I'd start with I knew how old I was, so I'd go back from my birthday, and it would just be horrible to listen to as a podcast if I was trying to work out all those dates.
It's got to be in circa
Let's
03
say-
or 04 or 5. One of those three, eh?
Around there, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So it started, and it kind of coincided with me getting into coding as well. Me and my mates started the East Coast Bodyboarders Club.
Oh, let's talk about that. East Coast. ECBC? ECBC.
ECB.
ECB.
And that kind of started because I straight out of high school I was
That's so good.
yeah. Shout out
Cool.
Unit.
Who was in it?
Paul,
Who was in it?
Unit,
Yeah.
Ian Brown and Paul Davidson, and then
Cool.
a few others joined later. Daniel,
Man.
shout out you guys.
Yes.
So funny, and yeah, like 4 people, like that was our club.
And what did you do?
There was a few more in
Did you
Greymouth.
just go for surfs?
Yeah.
Or did you have any comps or anything? Or
No. It was just
a
like
hang,
just
a group.
just a pretend little gang.
Cool.
And we it also came about because straight out of high school I was a screen printer. Yeah.
T-shirts, baby.
Yeah, I did a what's it called? Job.
Like a
What's it
work
when you-
experience.
Yeah, work experience.
Yeah.
Did a work experience. It was in like sixth form.
Sick.
And walked in. The dude, he was like a surfer from Sumner.
Yeah.
And he was listening to like punk tunes
Man.
and doing his work. And I was like, oh, I want to work here. Fuck high
course.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did 2 weeks of that. And then they offered me a job, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving high school to work." Yeah,
Sick. What year was what year did you go through? Sixth form?
that was sixth form.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But most of my mates had left by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So-
So the ECBC came
It
about.
came about because I think I was I think as part of that work experience, I had to like come up with a logo.
Nice.
Did
Did you have to do that like freehand or actually on a computer?
freehand, and then they showed me. The graphic designer showed me how he
How to put
scans it,
Yeah.
puts it into
Yep.
would have been like freehand or some like vector-based program back in those
Yeah.
days. Man, I'd love that stuff. Will be somewhere at home. My mum would not have
No
thrown it out.
way.
And I don't even think it was ECB. I think it was some other brand that I tried and came up with. But it would have just
Oh
been
my
like
God.
someone doing like
Yeah.
a big split leg
Big
invert. Yeah.
All the logos were like that back in the day. eh?
Yeah.
Like innies, or
Yeah.
that was about it.
Yeah.
Just big innies, variations of innies.
Yeah. Like just make no doubt about what this is. It's someone holding a bodyboard wearing fins,
Yeah.
So yeah, came up with who knows what logo and
Mm.
brand.
Yeah.
Did that, knocked that out, and then printed it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is the job I want to do
This is
because
me
I
for-
can make a surf label. This is gonna be tough.
Yes.
And then
For 7 people.
yeah, 4. Yeah. No, I can't remember. If I'm missing anyone, sorry.
He's bound to be.
But and then yeah, so I used some crazy software. It was like Microsoft Front Page. Yeah, it was part of like the Microsoft Office suite. So I'm dipping in between history, bodyboard history,
No, it's cool.
and coding shit.
It's going to hit many people's
Yeah. Cool.
interest points.
Yeah, this was way before Dreamweaver and all that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's cool. Front page. I made the HTML, and then
Nice.
this was in the days of dial up. And
Oh, gosh.
I'd got Yeah, Mum bought me an HP desktop. One of the best days of my life.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
how good's a new computer at home?
Yeah, I didn't go to any school dances
Parties,
or
you're
whatever you
just
call them.
on the computer.
Yeah, man. Missed
Geeking out.
every high school
Did you?
dance
All the
thing.
balls.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Homies would come up to my door. My homie
Let's
Jaden
go.
came up. Yeah, skateboard, bag full of bodies. So, hey, we're going to this party, man. I was like, oh, I got to babysit, man. Sorry.
In other
then
words, I'm
back
just going to
onto-
geek out
dial up.
onto the fucking
Yeah.
C command prompt.
FTP servers full of MP3s.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how I got into punk as well.
You're just finding all those like before uTorrent sort of shit.
Yeah, there were these servers full of files,
Free files that you could
there
tap
could only
into.
be like 5 people on there at once, and it was all this big thing. But yeah, so
sorry, I just want to ask. So you missed out on a lot of finger banging, eh?
yeah,
School balls.
I had my share.
Did you? Oh, good. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you got some action in that respect because, like those,
very fickle.
Yeah, those balls were synonymous
Yeah.
with finger banging and
Yeah.
first base, second base scenarios.
Yeah.
So I didn't want you to miss out. So
Yeah.
you got your fill.
To kind of Americanize it, like they were the jocks,
Of course, they always get like the most.
and
of
that's
the,
usually the first 15 guys.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and but yeah,
like
and
big
then
heads.
there was the lowest class. We were in the middle.
Surfies are kind of in the middle way, like
Yeah.
surfy geeky kind of guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had, because you always have homies in the top tier who surfed as well. And then,
Ooh.
so you'd like have
Jeez.
with the crews and stuff.
Fuck,
That was
imagine if you're a homie surfer and a rugby player.
Oh, do you mean homies and like someone who's
Oh, you
pretending
mean
to be an like American gangster?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I just mean friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
sorry.
gotcha. I actually thought you meant like gangster, like,
No,
what up, G?
yeah. Oh, the homies.
Yeah, my boy.
I mean,
No.
there weren't many homies in Christchurch. I
Was
guess
there?
there were a few.
Fuck.
There were a couple. I definitely got punched by one of them.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, it wasn't a thing.
I had a few years up in Gizzy, and fuck me, homies were a thing, bro. That was next.
Yeah, man. Different world.
Different world. Cha-cha is different.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to missing
Yeah,
out
so
on a
we-
few
we-
balls.
Oh, yeah,
so you got your new HP.
Yeah. So yeah, I was learning how to learning about FTP and
Fuck the
HTML,
police.
HTML, FTP, HTML, and that, and then check one. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I just got scared that it wasn't
Yeah, I
working.
know, it's working. It's working. Make sure that lights right up on your grill face.
I've had it here the whole time.
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. That's a good spot.
I was in a band one time. Anyway.
I know. I want to talk about that shit too. I'm talking about that shit too.
So yeah, HTML. Yeah, made this like hilarious web page with like the profiles of like all our members, and
so you actually made your own ECB, whatever it was called, club site.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it
Cool,
had the
cool,
logo. It had like
Sick.
photos of everyone. I think I like put the photos through some weird filter,
Yeah.
so our faces looked all computerized or something. It was so funny, man.
Yeah. That was your testing ground, right?
I'd love to find shit like that these days. Yeah, old hard drives with gold on it, I believe exist, but I'll come back to that.
So there might be a stash of certain drives somewhere.
I think the whole website's backed up on a drive somewhere
Cool.
in this building.
Oh, in this building.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, one of your fellow brethren has asked me.
That's probably
for-
Jade DeGoldie, I'd imagine.
Shout out.
Shout out,
Go
Gooch.
to Goldie.
He
Love
is
you,
a
bro.
hugest bodyboarding geek.
I love it.
He is such a geek.
I love it.
I
And I'm
love
still
it
looking.
too.
Yeah, Jade, I'm still looking for it.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm.
He goes through these phases, where he gets so fired up just about history of bodyboarding and current bodyboarding.
It's dope.
And he doesn't actually go out much because he's like, he's time poor and his body's kind of fucked, but his passion is unrivaled, bro.
Yeah, we
It's
need
so cool.
We need those people.
Yeah, we do.
And things like this.
Really do. He's amazing.
And I was one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at home. Yeah, building this website for a
Yeah.
big part of my life.
Fuck
So yeah, learn how to build basic HTML through with the ECBs, and then
ECBs. So
and I
that
don't know
would have
what
been
happened
sixth
to
form.
that.
So when were you born?
84.
84.
Oh, you'll be able to work this out for me.
So
Yeah.
84. So then it would have been 2000. 2000 when you started the
There
ECBC
we
stuff.
Here we go.
So then Isolated may have come, what, 1 or 2 or 3 years after that?
Not long after that.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
01, maybe.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Might be
Then we
01.
would have come. Yeah, that must have been before we hooked up with Wellsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very small timeline now that I'm thinking.
I'd love to dissect it though, because that's really interesting.
I think so. I think the ECBs, was definitely when we were in high school.
Yeah.
And then Wellsy left high school, so did Paul, and then I was like, I need to leave too.
So
and then
jump in, Wellsy. Where was he in the whole scene? Because
love you, bro.
You didn't mention him in the initial crew that you were with.
Yeah.
So he you jumped into
his. So
when did you guys start?
So I linked up with him
because you're different high schools.
Same high school.
Oh, so
he was
boys.
Yeah, he was a year above me,
right.
And
okay.
I think we hooked up because all our mates left high school, and we were like the only two bodyboarders left. I think I'm pretty sure we overlapped like that, and then
different friend groups, and then it was just like almost like
different friend groups,
and a Christian thing that you just sort of hung out.
Yeah, and also like he was like in the bodyboard world, he was on like the higher tier.
Yeah, he was starting to get a name for himself.
We had like about, I don't know, 8 bodyboarders in the entire world of Christchurch, and we still had a fucking hierarchy. you know, our little scholastics comps and shit like that. It'll be like, oh yeah, the boys at the top. And we were like, okay, fine, we're the losers.
How cool was scholastics?
That's fine.
Fucking sick.
Looking back at it, man, it was so dope.
I reckon a lot of bugs can resonate with that because actually nationwide, and it probably just comes down to the whole stand-up surfing community as well, because they encompassed everything. It was like, we're doing scholastics, yes, bodyboarding's involved. I remember I didn't do it in Greymouth because I was too young. When I was in Gisborne, I did it, and it was a big thing, man. It was huge. It was like big mana if you got into like the finals or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, it was cool.
It was a big deal. It was mad stressful, as a kid. Which, all sports competitions are like that.
You go. Were you much of a comp dude?
I was
back in the day. Were you into?
I was pretty shit. I'd never really might have made it to a semi or.
Oh, sweet. That's all good.
But no, I was not really a comp dude.
Free surfer. You're a free surfer.
I think I tried to flex like that just because I was so shit. I was like, I don't really do the comp thing. Nice. Doing 10 spins and onshore mush just to get some points. No, I don't do that. I couldn't even. I couldn't do it if I tried. It was funny.
Some people are so competitively driven though, when it comes to comps.
Respect.
I'm a bit of both. Like, I get that intense fucking, and it's because of my upbringing. I've got a super competitive family. My granddad was a Kiwi rugby league representative, represented New Zealand across the world. So that flowed through to his parents, his kids, which is my mum. And then it was like just this whole growing up, everything was competitive. Like playing frisbee on the back lawn, playing cricket on the back lawn, everything.
Is that rugby league in Greymouth or rugby league? You were saying you spent some time in Gizzy?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Where'd the rugby league come from?
My granddad, but I played it. Yeah. But didn't play much rugby league up in Gizzy. Played a bit of rugby.
Yeah.
Got smashed, bro.
Yeah, right.
But scholastics, that was highly competitive up in Gizzy. Fuck, it was awesome. And I've heard some amazing stories of like the scholastics on the West Coast and the Christchurch scholastics. I've heard some cool stories.
Really?
Wellsy would have been like top dog, in that zone.
Oh yeah, he was top dog for sure. There's another bro. The other guy from our ends, like from our high school, Brett Mayfair.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which is how I was saying, like the worlds collide, because then he's like, a Highlander later on, professional rugby player. So
the footy,
because he was in the first 15 or whatever, I imagine he was. And we're like, this bodyboarder first 15, by association, we're kind of cool too. And then, but we're all mates as well, so we could go to a party and not be like, who the fuck are these losers? Like, Mates with Brett as well.
You can drop his name, eh?
Thanks, Brett.
Oh, mates with Brett.
Yeah.
That's that guy over there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're cool. Hang out.
Which I don't even think I was until way
No.
later, but
Yeah.
I love that guy. Anyway,
So isolated.
oh yeah, the scholastics thing.
We were talking about. We were trying to find out what the sort of.
I was like hierarchy back in the day. How I hooked up with Wellsy. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Wellsy chat.
That one's a bit blurry. I think it was like as I was saying, we both were at the only people at school who we thought were cool or something. Well, no, not cool. Just we were the only ones that surfed. So we, he would take me surfing. I seem like there's not many people up for it too.
To go for missions.
Yeah, I was like always up for it.
And he's
I think
always
he
up
was
for it.
frothing. You know,
Yeah,
he
so-
gets that energy. He's like, dude, we're gonna like,
He's so intense.
like having beers. He's like, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to bed at 10 p.m.
Planning it out.
Yeah. I made your bed. I'm gonna go to bed.
Do you go to bed
10
now?
p.m. Yeah, and then
Get up at
because
4?
we've got to wake up at 4, and then
Go
we're
to
on the
Cairns.
road, and then blah blah blah. Yeah, if you fuck with that schedule, like and I loved it. I was like, fuck yeah,
You're into
this
it. You're
is
like,
awesome.
This is exciting.
I was like, yeah, let's go. So yeah, we just started doing missions, and that
And that's
death trap car he had. Oh my god,
the death trap. The what? The death.
he had this little white thing,
what was the weird thing?
and had like a, what do they call, blow off valve or something,
Oh,
that turbo
yeah.
thing.
He went through a mad boy racer phase, eh?
Yeah.
Remember his Toyota Levin? Remember that thing? He'd
Levin?
always the Levin.
I remember the Salik. No,
It was that little fucking
drifting?
Toyota. Yeah, the drifty one.
the drift.
It wasn't Levin, eh? What was it?
No.
What was the name of it?
I don't know. The petrol heads would be hazing us right now.
The first time he came over to Great
Salika? No.
wasn't a Salika. I thought it was a Levin, but he
Small headlights, I remember.
Yes.
Rear wheel drive.
Yeah, he come around and he goes,
Whatever that was.
he goes, jump in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was never a fan of that. I was never a boy racer. I love old school steezy cars, you know, like with bench seats that don't do burnouts. They just cruise. And he comes around, he picks me up. He said, I'll take you for a drive. I'm like, okay, this is weird, but yeah, sure. This is what you do apparently. And we get to like the Cobden Bridge. And at the end of the Cobden Bridge, he just goes, "Oi, hang on." And he just fucking sliding the cunt out.
Is there a roundabout there, or
Nah, this was no.
just at the end of a bridge,
Just the
2
end of the
lanes?
bridge, 2 lanes, and he's just banging it round the corner. I was gripping the side of the car, going, "Oh!" and his tires are squealing, and I was just like,
Hold on, we're going to the
and
warehouse.
you do get adrenaline. I can see why they fucking love it. It was a bit of
man.
a buzz,
Of course.
but I literally got a buzz and then thought, "This is gay as fuck." Sorry, it's not my cup of tea, man.
Used
My cup of tea. But that was a phase he went through. He's
used
not,
in the way we used it back in those days, as it was lame.
it was fucking lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, Wellsy, you went on heaps of missions with him, and that I was
Wait,
going to say, no,
Has anyone told you the story when he wrapped that car around a pole?
tell everyone what happened.
I'm sure this is all right to talk
Of
about.
course, it is.
Yeah, no one died.
And
yeah,
we are
sure. Yeah, there's no.
like, this podcast.
No, this is fine.
This podcast is completely anti everything. So who cares?
Yeah. I'm sure he'll love this story.
Yeah.
So yeah, the homie Brett Mather,
Yeah.
another bodyboarder.
Yeah.
We were hanging out at a mate's house. And he's like, "Oh, take you for a drive." Yeah, cool. Same fucking deal.
Oh yeah.
Did it?
Show
Fucking
off.
Burnt to the
Yeah.
round this roundabout, and then boom, hit a lamp. Yeah,
Had a
lamppost.
fucking lamppost.
Yeah,
Oh,
going off
no.
to Brett. Same story. Could have ended the same way, but
Jesus. Did anyone get hurt or nah? Just the car got.
nah,
fucked
they were
up?
fine.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's okay. He was but
It's perfect.
that's what made him so awesome at surfing.
Yeah. You just get so amped. Now
Yeah.
you got into videography or photography. What was
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Was it video or stills that you're into? Or
Video
both?
first.
Yeah.
How'd that shit start?
Yeah, because that was amazing. Like you started like going on trips with Wellsy, and then isolated just come out of nowhere. Like for us on the West Coast, we had no warning. Like a lot of boogers around New Zealand had no warning. It was just like boom, this fucking website's up,
Yeah,
and everyone was.
it
just
would have
like,
been before that because I know where it kind of. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
So where that
It's all the same chat.
where that would have come from was building the websites. I needed photos, you know. Yeah, we needed some
Content
You know, it's like,
gathering
oh yeah,
exercise.
East Coast Bodyboarders, this is us.
Now we're gonna
And
put
then
some shit on there.
here's a photo of us surfing, and you take a still from a
Gotcha.
VHS with no zoom lens, and it just looks like
So bad.
it just looks like a day at the beach with your family, and all you can see is still like 3 like white water,
Pixels.
and then you put that on the computer. I'm like,
So
this
shit.
doesn't look like the magazines. What are we doing wrong here?
What is going on here?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Paul Davidson. His dad had a Hayek camera.
I can't remember that name. I'm sure I've met him. I'm just like the name's not.
Yeah, you would have met him like once or twice.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
okay.
for sure. Yeah, we didn't come to Graham out that much.
Shout out Paul.
Shout out Paul D. Yeah. So his dad, his dad had a Hayek camera that he let us use.
Ooh,
that was it. Yes, and we just take that to the beach.
That got you fizzed up.
Yeah, man.
You got a nice camera from old mate's dad, Paul's dad.
Yeah, I mean, I think even then I knew it wasn't like top of the range or whatever. Yeah, but it's all we had. I knew about like telephoto lenses and stuff because I knew it didn't look like. And I also thought, like when I first came to Blaketown, I was like, oh, you can like stand on the breakwalk and zoom right in to like the waves, and because in Christchurch at our local beach, you were like
so far out,
miles away,
and that was back in then when the cameras had the shittest zooms too, right?
Yeah. We had to like stand with a giant tripod, looking like a dork. So yeah, I thought. Because I didn't know about telephoto lenses. I just thought we were just at our brake sucked, you know. So we just had this wrong problem. And also a wave problem. Like
true.
New Brighton Beach was never good.
Fuck, that brings me another question. When was your first trip to Blako's? Oh, you ship with dates, but would have been in that sort of era, was it? Was it just after your how long after sixth form?
I reckon it would have been a trip where. Oh no! Yes, I do remember. Me and Paul Davidson came over.
Pre-Wellsy,
pre-driving, bro. Yeah, my
parents come over.
Yeah. Because that was our first surf tripping. We'd get a esky full of beers and we'd go camping, and our parents would drop us off at our local surf place, like, and would they give you Bay, like, oh, you would buy.
You'd actually,
they'd buy.
Actually camp.
Yeah, they would.
Man,
they would buy beers, but we were of age. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that. It's all good. But that's
we'd have a whole esky for them,
sick.
And then a few packets of scissors in our bag. But all the esky was for beers.
Yes,
and they'd drop us off, and we're like, all right, cool. Friday, I'll pick you up on Sunday. Yeah,
cool parents, man.
Yeah, man,
that's fucking rad.
Yeah, because they were doing the same shit at our age, I reckon, as well. And
that's so cool.
And Davo's dad was actually a bit more responsible than my mum. He dropped us off at Meatworks in Kaikoura once, and then him and another mate of ours, Marty, his dad, so two dads, they drove to the town and stayed in Kike City. And Kike's Township.
Yeah, you got it. And then like used boys would be camping on the beach or whatever, and
pissing up,
and the dads would like not too far. Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
Free text, sort of pre-internet and shit.
Yeah. Those days are so good.
Those days, man.
Beer bong days. Good times. And then just it was mostly that. Yeah, and film all that and.
Man,
think that we were making the funniest videos, and then back to the film thing.
Yeah,
we
and the Blako's thing
segueing quite well.
That's fun. It's fun to like jump around, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I really want to know, like, do you remember your first Blaketown trip? And like, is there any like?
Oh yes.
Is there any like burned memories? Because it would have been quite a hallowed ground, or even just like a new. Like you would have thought, whoa, this place is a bit weird but special. Like as you said, you can film it right.
Total hallowed ground. We'd Yeah, I don't. Yeah, never been there.
Had a rep. Did it have a
mad,
rep?
Mad rep.
Did it?
Yeah, bro.
That's interesting from me being from there. I'd love to know your perspective
Oh,
on the
yeah,
rep.
yeah, it was
you know?
huge. We just, I think because there wasn't like video.
No.
How the fuck did we
Was
know
it just
about
word
it?
of mouth, was it?
Lots of word of mouth. I
Maybe
think.
Riptide mags.
Oh, there were like some things on the internet. You
Yeah.
know, like
What was there?
was Bodyboard Shop online then?
I don't know.
There might have been like little snippets of
Yeah.
like the odd weird pixely JPEG
Really?
and things like this. And we just
Yeah.
we knew we'd been, and then like Wellsy would just been talking about it non-stop, being like the best wave in New Zealand.
Because
And,
he'd always come over.
and
holidays.
and all that shit trickles down through the ranks, and
Yeah.
we just knew it was the shit. We didn't really know why. Well,
Until you got there.
yeah, well, just had no idea. We knew everything about the wave, it seems like, you know, right hand, break wall, wedge, like but had no idea about just the ocean. West Coast ocean is
different, man.
Different, bro.
It's a different beast.
It's so one of the most unique pieces of coastline I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know, the tannins coming out of that river do not help.
Definitely not
at all for making it. Yeah. I've got so much to talk about with this. Cool. This was great, man. Yeah. Cool. So we cool. Yeah. So my auntie they have this old house in falling off at the first jump. Yeah. Somewhere inland on the coast.
Like Dobson, Kayada.
Dobson, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Dobson.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
First pop.
Yeah, my auntie and uncle have an old house in Dobson, falling apart. They might have renovated it now.
Yeah.
So they go and hang out there and party, and we get dropped. I get my mum to drop us off at a campground on the beach in Greymouth.
Top 10, Kororo.
Yes, Kororo. That's it.
Yeah. That's where I started. That's where I started. Not boogie boarding.
Oh yeah,
that was my home ground.
It was kind of boggy boarding back in the day.
I was boggy. I was definitely bogging.
Bogged a lot.
I was bogging all the time.
We're humming now.
We're going good. I'll fill the void as you pop that. Yeah, Kororo is my first ever boggy boarding experience on a shitty Lilo bodyboard. And watching Tim Bromley and the boys actually trim along a wave, and all I could do was just bomb the wash. That's how you start.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had like I think kind of proper boards at that time.
Slick boards, flippers.
Oh yeah. We had I had at least a slick bottom board. Yeah,
cool.
All did too. We had fins.
Nice.
We'd cut like these shit fins into like what we thought were cool shapes. Like, you know, did you ever cut fins?
But I cut them for drop knee purposes, not weird purposes that you're probably about to say.
Just to look cooler, like to look like the shape of muckapoos or something.
Churchills.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Churchills,
gotcha.
yeah.
So you would have had some shitty fucking pods or like hydros, and you like
100%
angled them up. Yeah.
Body glove, maybe. The big ones. Big fat boat ones, yeah.
I know the ones.
I reckon that's the kind of gear we were rocking then. We
glove weddies as well, eh? Maybe.
I think.
Did you go up a level?
We couldn't afford brand new shit, so we would have got secondhand rip curl.
Yeah.
But like from the 80s, like bit of fluoro in there. Just shit, probably not even a men's sweaty, like a
I'm just gonna tell you my story of my first wetsuit, bro.
Oh, yeah.
My mum, because she heard that I was into bodyboarding, she's like, I got your wetsuit, Joel. And I was like, oh, cool. So pumped. Where is it? She's like, it's right there. And I was like, that? She's like, yep. It was a front zip, wakeboarding females, short leg, short arm wetsuit.
Bless.
Can you imagine that for a young teenage boy?
Bless.
That's peer pressured into having the best gear from all of his peers.
I can, because I can imagine all your mates probably
like Bromley
had like ordered in some weddies by that
Bromley, Lowy, all that crew.
They would have got them from outside of Greymouth, had they?
They would have had rich appearance than me and got actual proper good weddies.
Oh, that's
and brilliant. I was my
Did you rock it?
I rocked it, bro.
Dude.
Just for that first summer.
Yeah, man.
First summer, and then I couldn't handle it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I need to scab someone sweaty. But anyway,
Man, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I got some hand-me-down basketball shoes that were like the soles were so rock hard. I had to like sand off a layer.
edges.
Yeah, to like make them not like ice skates on the court.
Oh, you actually had to put grip in them, like
I sanded the top off.
grooves?
Yeah, and then I'd just like spray like links on the bottom and like try and make them grippy.
Links, and then get a lighter underneath.
Yeah. After a few laps of the court and just sliding like you're playing like
Ice hockey.
play tennis. Yeah.
Okay, we've really derailed it.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Kororo, and we're talking about
Blake.
your perception of Blaketown, hallowed ground.
We will get back to isolated.
Oh, we're gonna.
Yeah, but hallowed ground. Yeah, is it hallowed ground or
I
hollow?
think it's hallowed.
Hallowed ground.
I
Yeah.
think it's hallowed.
So yeah, we get dropped off at top 10, and we're like, oh, this is the coolest shit ever. We're like alone, you know. I'm like, oh, it sounds like there's chicks 3 doors down.
Oh,
me.
no way.
Yeah, me. No, we'll go check the surf. And there was just like Kororo, dark ocean. Like, yeah, it's pretty shit. Like it was stormy. I remember it was real stormy. And we're like, I think we had a little splash around in the shorey at Kororo.
Cool.
Came in, we're like, yeah, cool. But we haven't surfed Blaketown yet. And like we're gonna rest up.
Pre-surf forecasting too. You wouldn't even check the forecasts. It was just on a whim, or did you?
We could have
check
checked it, but we didn't know what the fuck. We wouldn't have known what we were looking at.
Exactly. Yeah.
Had we known, it was just, it must have been blowing up from the south.
Yes, the southwest.
Yeah.
Onshore.
Into the pocket, just howling onshore, and then basically a storm.
No.
So,
did you put it out?
I've got such a good story that I don't think you know.
I don't.
So we're kind of pretty scared at this point, like we don't know anything about it. I've never even been in like a big barrel or anything like this, and
don't know where the takeoff, like where to jump out from or anything. None of that
nothing
shit.
about. We'd never even been to Blaketown yet. So we had that session at Kororo, and then it got dark because we got dropped off late. I'm like, okay, cool. We got pissed, and then got up in the morning, and we're like, sweet, and then. Yeah, because we were young, we were dropped off. We'd like walk down
from Kororo. It was a while. That's a good 5 to 7K on the beach.
It's so funny. Like if I went now, if I did this now, I would have had a packed lunch, like a packed lunch.
Water.
I would have taken water, like a tent, fucking like
flashlight.
Yeah, so much shit. Because and we just like, all right,
because you can see it from Kororo. You're like, oh, it's just down there.
Yeah.
Next minute,
40
minutes
grabbed
later,
our wetties, and then half walking on the beach, half walking through like tracks.
Yeah,
through like what you guys call sand dunes, like gravel and stuff.
Yeah,
and then got there, and it was just we were expecting the whole ocean was just white.
Fuck,
storm,
bad time,
massive storm. Yeah, like sun's out,
beautiful day.
I think it could, if it was onshore, it didn't matter. I mean, sorry, if it was blowing offshore, it didn't matter. It wasn't going to form any waves. That's how stormy it was, you know. So it didn't matter what way the wind's going. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
But we were expecting, this is
perfect,
just like the normal shit beach, and then when we get to Blaketown, it's just going to be barrels.
Yeah. You would have thought it's going to be 3 to 4 foot right-handers.
Yeah.
And then you rocked up and saw it was just.
We rock up. Yeah, we approached like the break wall, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
this isn't good.
I was like, this looks like a port. Like, and it is a port.
Yeah, it is a
but
port.
Like, it was just so industrial. That's the first thing that got me. I was expecting like, because I'd never even really looked, when you see like the Port Macquarie, like wedges, and when you see wedges in Australia and that, like you don't see the shore and what the hangout zone looks like. So I was expecting it to be like really cool and nice, and I was like, this is so industrial and weird and
freaky.
Yeah, freaky and like real shitty, like compared to what I had in my head. Like I was expecting a nice which I grow to love over the years,
Yeah.
of course.
Did
but
you paddle out that day?
nah, man.
Nah.
So
good
we
call.
got there,
Good call.
yeah, and we walked up to where we thought the takeoff zone would be along the break wall, and it was just like water splashing onto the road,
Oh, scary.
and we're like, we couldn't, and we had no point of reference. Like nowadays, I'd be like, oh, let's go to the pub or something. 'Cause
Yeah,
this
or
is
go-
a waste of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, or go somewhere else.
Oh, crazy.
And
So
it was
you-
just, and we were like, oh, do we go out? Do we not? Oh, I'm not sure. And like, we're looking around, there's no one there. We're like, no locals.
Yeah, they're right.
And then,
Sleeping.
well, no, because we just still think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, you just like what thinking it's just going to turn like
Or something's going to happen.
switch is going to get flipped.
Yeah, and we just wait and wait, and this
no.
dude rocks up
Oh.
in a white 4-door
Whoa, good memory.
Mazda. Oh, it was the same boy racer car that Wellsy had, but it was a sedan version, maybe.
Oh,
Man, I'm kind of stoked. I've deleted all the shit from all the car shit that
good memory.
doesn't
though.
make
It's
doesn't
good that you
that I don't need
you can
anymore.
Picture that. So you're shit with dates, but you're good with actual like visual things.
I guess so. Yeah. Dude rocks up. I'm gonna wait and see if you can think who it is.
Yeah.
Should I? Yeah.
No. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
So I'll tell you what he does.
Yeah. And I'll just jump
and I'll see if you can guess who it is.
Yeah. Cool.
This dude rocks up because at that point I've got no knowledge of boards and fins and everything, so I can't remember his gear. He's got
Stop. Do you know who the dude is?
yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Carry on.
Dude, jumps out his car. He's like, "Hey boys, how you going?" And we were like, "Oh, sick!" Like they're not being mean to us.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey Barry, are you guys going out?" We're like, "Oh, don't think so." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I'm just doing my Kiwi voice.
Yeah.
Obviously,
It's okay.
doesn't sound like this. He's like, "Okay, yeah." Oh, I am. No, he didn't say that. He's just like, "Yeah, you guys going out?" We're like, "Oh no, I don't know."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just put on his gear."
Oh,
It's like, "Yeah, sweet," and then jump down the
no
rock.
way. Paddles out to show he's
And
the man.
Yeah, jumps into the water. Yeah, and then just so for people that don't know, Blaketown, it's like a rock, a breakwater thing going out, and then this day all the swell is like pushing into the corner.
So it's rough as.
So it's rough as you can barely get out. The only way you can get out is because all the water's pushing into this corner. There's a massive rip going out. So, all the locals know this. We would learn this really soon after this trip. But he's just getting smashed onto the rocks. He's really close to the rocks, and he like slowly, it's just duck diving, and then he just becomes tiny, because we had no point of reference. As soon as he's in the water, we're like, oh my god, it's massive.
Yeah, you're like,
once there was a person, once there was a person in the water, we're like,
it looks so different. Different when you're on the beach or on the actual break wall.
Yeah.
And
he starts just getting pulled out by this rip, trying to not get washed onto the rocks, and slowly. But I'm like, where are you going? Like,
where's the takeoff point?
Yeah, where's the takeoff point? Goes out, keeps duck diving till it gets to the end of the break wall. He's really small at this point, and then he keeps going out.
Sucked around.
That's the tip. So there's two break walls that go out, main big river mouths. Yeah, and he gets sucked out past the break wall that we're standing on, past the end of it, which we're nowhere near. We can barely see him at this point. We're not near the end. Out, through the river, and we're just
suck out.
Me and my mate, so young, sitting here.
You'd be peeking, going,
"Was he supposed to do that?"
Yeah, was that on purpose?
Yeah. And at one point, he starts waving. I think he was so small, I can't really remember.
Yeah.
Then I remember there being heaps of people on the Cobden wall and pointing and stuff.
Yeah.
And me and my mate,
I think I know who this is.
I don't even think we had cell phones.
Can I answer the question?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
I think it's Bradley McEwen.
No.
Oh, fuck.
No, it wasn't Bradley McEwen.
Well, it definitely wasn't Adam McLean.
No,
Definitely wasn't Andrew Lowe.
no.
Wasn't Jay DeGoldie.
This is a tough guess. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Wasn't Tim Bromley. Wasn't Frank. It might have been someone random. Wouldn't be Alex Luckman. Might have been someone random like Jeremy Gantley when he was living there. No. Fuck, this is a tough one. Wouldn't have been Bromley. Wouldn't have been Smitty. Who had a white Mazda? Instantly, I thought of Adam because he had like a little Ford on Mazda.
Don't take the Mazda
as gospel.
Yeah, I might have. I think I threw you off with that.
That's okay.
It might not even been white, to be honest.
I'm lost. So keep going with the story, but yeah, and tell me who it is because I can't choose.
He was a mad dude.
Oh fuck!
He was a mad.
Was it though?
He was a mad dude.
Who was it?
A
mad dude, not Troy Crooks. No, a mad dude.
Rest in peace to this guy.
Oh, was it Shannon?
Yeah.
Was Shannon Thompson?
Yeah.
I was thinking about Shannon or
Yeah.
Brad even. Like, fuck.
Rest in peace, Shannon.
Rest
Thompson.
in pease, Shannon.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, mad
He
dude.
was a mad dog.
Yeah, legend. So
Legend.
yeah, so he's getting he's getting pulled out to the sea, like so small. Yeah, me and my mate don't even know if he was supposed to do this. We're like, what? Because we're just sitting here next to his car.
Yeah.
We're the only people on the tip.
Like peeking out a little bit.
Yeah, like we were already scared and now we're freaked out. Like, did he just where's he going? Anyway.
Fuck.
So yeah, heaps of people on the Cobden tip. A cop car rocks up and we're like, okay.
Someone's called the cops.
We don't have to worry now. Like someone's called the police.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we had cell phones.
No.
I don't even think he didn't get rescued. I think he just paddled in a Cobden.
Yeah.
And that was our first trip to Blaketown.
That's an eventful trip.
Yeah.
And you didn't even surf Blaketown, eh?
Nah.
Fuck, I wish you could smell these burps, man.
I think it was. I'm not going to smell them if you keep burping over there.
Well, I don't want to blow them into your face. Disrespectful.
Aim one right at me and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the first time.
Wow. That was cool.
I'll do the second time way quicker. Second time, our mate Daniel, his dad was up in the Monteith beer
brewery
business.
Oh, true.
Thing.
Daniel.
So that brewery was down there, on the coast.
Yeah, should you? Yeah.
So his dad had a trip or something. I might be mashing heaps of these things because my memory is pretty cooked.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, me, Daniel, and Davo, and I can't remember if Unit came as well.
ECB.
Yeah, our ECB crew.
Yeah.
We do the same thing again, I think, camp in.
Yeah, cool.
Have some fun shory times, and then the next day we go to Blaketown.
Yeah.
And
please tell me it was actually good.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was like, the best waves I've ever gone in my life.
Oh,
but we go out.
Sick.
We go out with packing our decks.
Was there anyone out?
I can't remember how we found the walk down to the jump rock.
Yeah.
I think we just scaled the rocks and
just chose a spot
and made our own way, which is fine. But
it works.
Yeah. Didn't know the cool way yet. And then
there's been so many iterations.
I bet. Yeah. And then the car rocks up, classic. Oh yeah, so no one's there again.
Oh, crazy.
And we're like, what the hell? Like, this is supposed to be like the bodyboarding mecca of New Zealand. That's what we thought.
That's what everyone says. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of population, I don't know. Anyway, and again, another car rocks up. And we're like, oh shit, here we go. And we're like, scared some locals are going to come tell us to go in. You know those stories?
Yes.
And
the heavy,
because you hear all that shit and like because all we had was like, we had the bodyboarding magazine, but
word of mouth.
Then but yeah, you still read those stories in those magazines, so that we thought that's how it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, these dudes rock up. Two cunts paddle out. One dude has bright pink board.
Oh, board.
Bright pink board and a mohawk.
Oh, that's so epic.
And but it wasn't a normal mohawk. No, this gives it away real quick.
That's so good.
The most craziest mullet ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, we know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, but bright pink, like bottom,
Yes.
I think, of his board, and
Yes.
we'd never even seen shit like.
Shout out to Mullet.
Shout out, Mullet.
He'll never watch this, but
love
he,
you, man.
he might one day. You never know. He doesn't know how to turn on a computer, actually, to be honest. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, man, and his brother.
Oh, Johnny.
Pretty sure
It would have
was
been.
Johnny.
They're always surfing together.
Yeah. Those bros come.
Oh,
Those bros
cool.
come out.
The
We're just
true Blaketown locals.
yeah, man. Of
The
course.
true
Of
Blaketown
course.
locals.
Yeah. Shout out Johnny. We became very good poker playing friends later on.
Yes, he's still going good too.
Good lad.
Because you're not onto the socials.
Nah,
He's doing really well on tourneys up in Gold Coast.
sick. That's so good to hear. Yeah, I've reached out to him.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm so off the social knowledge. But anyway, yeah, they rock up and we're like, oh fuck, they're gonna tell us to go in, muscle, and they're just gonna be dicks or something. And they're like, hey guys, how you going? Yeah, and just the coolest dudes ever. Like, so nice.
Good vibes.
And we're like telling us to go on waves and
how good.
Yeah.
And
that was, and then it just went on from there.
Yeah. So the second visit was the good one.
Yeah.
First one was
still
like,
no car, I don't think. Yeah. That was before you were driving.
free car.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was cool that your parents did that. My mum was never into that. It was just, but I was lucky because I was, lived in waves. So it was
of course, man. Yeah.
like Kororo, and then so I surfed Kororo for like a year solid, and it wasn't until maybe like after a year. I didn't surf Blaketown until I was like 15, and everyone was talking about Blaketown, and me and Jay DeGoldie were just like 4 months later, we're like, should we go down to Blaketown? He was still a little bit reticent. I was just like, nah, we need to go. Everyone's surfing it. We are the last ones. We need to go there.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it, eh? Never forget it. It was tiny. It was like 2 foot, 1 to 2 foot, beautiful sunny day. And it was that classic right hand peeling. I'd never seen waves like that. Actual, you'd see waves that would be peel.
Like right on the
but
inside.
like actually, it was a shorey day too.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, oh my God, this wave is going from the rocks all the way through to the shore.
Yeah. It's like
how many moves can I do on that?
It's like in the movies.
Maybe like one spin if I'm lucky. Fuck, it was cool. And I was so hooked after that. That was it. I was done.
Awesome.
I was done. It was Blaketown or nothing. It was done. Kororo got a second hand, and I got the second seat.
Yeah, of course.
Seat.
Of course, man. Yeah.
Cool. So we need to go into isolated. We've got to get in there.
Yeah.
Got to get in there.
What time are we on here?
Yeah, because we need to venture out too, don't we? 8:40. Should we do another 20 minutes worth?
Yeah, sweet.
To 9?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Let's have a chat about isolated. Because that was insane.
Yeah. So
this website probably I've ever had the privilege of visiting and contributing. And
so
it's just amazing.
Yeah, I started building that that thing. Like, it was very primitive. Actually, no, I did my diploma.
Oh, did you actually do some tertiary studies in that sort of field?
Yeah. So I screen printing bummed me out. I was after 2 years, I was working in a factory with no sunlight, and then
wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah, didn't know anything about vitamin D or needing the sun to stay sane.
Yeah,
so I just went without sunlight for so long.
And probably cooked your brain. You're like,
cooked my brain, man. Yeah. Mum was like, okay, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And I was like, I love my HP computer and making websites. I want to
do that.
Be a web developer. So she put me in a course.
CPIT or whatever.
It was called NatCol.
Oh yes, I know NatCol.
You know NatCol?
Yeah.
It's not still going, is it?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. It changed names.
Yeah.
But it's still
rad.
Because that came from Wellington originally.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
They had campuses in Christchurch.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Cool. So I go to the interview, the enroll interview, and they're like, oh, so what have you done to prepare for this or whatever? And I'm like, ECB. Showed them my shit website, and they're like, oh wow, you're a shit. You're in. You're already on your way there.
Yeah.
So working in that job just fucked me up so bad mentally that anything else was amazing. So I started this course, and the schedule was like a couple of classes a day, Wednesday nothing, and sometimes finishing at 2 p.m. And I was like, this is the best shit ever.
Just loved it.
Yeah, because I was the sun, like sun was on my face. I was like, you know, chilling to work, not like just rushing to work at like 5:30 a.m. Like I was just, yeah,
Like,
life
the work
just
hours
was
are good.
Yeah, life was just sweet, and I was like, this is so good. I'm just gonna smash this. So I just became a teacher's pet nerd.
Man.
And like I'd stay behind after class, and like I loved nerd shit. So
Just geeked out on it.
Yeah, heaps
Just,
of people in the class were like gaming nerds. Like I wasn't into gaming much then, but yeah. So I just went in, became teacher's pet, and then once I finished that, I had the skills to build a website basically, and then started building Isolated, and then
it's just a natural progression because you're already interested in the sport of boogie boarding. So it's like, now I've got the skills to actually do the site.
Yeah, man.
And you're just like, so that was just a natural thing for you because you'd already done a test one with ECB, and then so you leveled up.
ECB was more of like a what you'd call a
hobby,
like a Squarespace site these days.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, total just having a go at it.
Have a go.
Yeah. Do you remember what were they called?
Those beers are over there. Keep going.
Yeah. There were these free websites back in the day.
Yeah. What are they called? Not GeoCities.
GeoCities, I think, was what I was thinking of.
It was
GeoCities.
GeoCities.
GeoCities. Yeah, that kind of like thing. You know, just text centered all the way down there. But yeah, in terms of
beers.
Yeah.
I got. They look warm. That's okay.
That's all right.
You're okay for that. Sorry. Carry on, GeoCities.
It's all right.
Fuck. Got him.
Yeah, GeoCities were like, yeah, that was a shit version of websites, but so I started building like my own one, and to be honest, building it, I can't really remember much.
Wasn't that hard? Well, you'd already leveled up. Was it pretty intuitive, or?
I mean, that was like my kind of like you with web development, you need a passion project to learn something. So like even to this day, if new frameworks and new technologies coming about all the time, and I'm like, okay, cool, there's this new thing. If I don't have a project to apply that to and build it, then there's no point. Like I've built
won't motivate you to learn.
I've like half built a full-on project management system just for myself, just to learn a thing in my own time in the last 5 years.
Cool.
So yeah, Isolated was that for me.
Yeah,
that was me learning how to
build a site.
That was me building my career, basically.
Yeah,
and
true.
And yeah, in terms of this community website,
wow.
And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know how deep I can get into how it evolved because it's all a bit of a blur to me. Yeah. Sorry to say.
No, but I can chime in with questions. Like,
yeah,
one question I have is, when it all first started, did you get like this sense of, like, I've built something that's really hit the mark here? Like, it's got a lot of action. People are engaged. The forums pages are going nuts. Did you get that sense of like, fuck, I've built a beast?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that happened.
Was that how long did that take? Like 6 months, 12 months, 2 years? Or was it instant?
I can't remember the timeline very well, but I remember kind of milestones.
Yeah.
I think it happened before the forum was even on there.
Like just the photos?
I started putting photos up.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing
was the start.
I think the only thing we had before that was
homepage.
Oh, we need to remember this dude's name because I bought a DVD off his website. Was it bodyboard.co.nz?
Yeah, it was. The Kiwi guy. Yep.
From the North Island?
Yeah.
Tama something.
So shit of names.
Well, that's not going to help.
No.
I was leaning on you for a lot of this.
I'm sorry, but I'm just as bad, bro, with names. I'm really good with
and you can't just like look this up on Wikipedia. This is
nah.
very niche history.
Shout out to you know who you are. So
We edited who we're talking about.
yeah,
but,
Hodjo might be able to do. He's the
yeah.
producer, so Hodjo can produce that. He'll edit it in.
Ah,
It wasn't Dez's crew, eh?
It is.
It was Dez.
Yes.
Oh, I nailed it. Yes, it was too loud. Sorry, tarot readers. Sorry, tarot readers. I'm sorry. Fuck, it was Dez.
So Des, yeah, his last name was like a Māori name.
Todema.
Yeah,
Yes, Todema.
something like that.
I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. And his son that rode as well, right? That bodyboarded.
Oh, not the Paradas, because the Paradas had the sons. I don't know if Dez had a son.
Okay,
the
if he
first
didn't have a
time.
son, maybe he didn't have a son.
Wasn't it
Anyway,
Paradas?
I remember it took him forever
No.
to send my DVD. I don't think it came. I think I emailed him.
And
He's
what's
like, "Oh,
the DVD
sorry,"
about
and then
anyway?
he
What was the DVD?
he sent it, and then he chucked in like a sticker or something. I was like, "Oh, it's so stoked."
Yeah, because he had his
I
little
wish
shop
I
there.
remember what the DVD was.
Yeah.
Probably their own. Yeah, it was obviously my first bodyboarding
Wow.
DVD, but
Was it like
yeah,
a tension or something? Or
not that
nah,
late.
not that late. It would have been something like
It was
anyway.
something
No
crap.
Friends or
Something, nothing that cool. No, it's something crap, to be honest.
Waterworks, one of the Lawrence brothers ones.
Oh, that was dope. You're naming all dope DVDs.
Oh, I know,
It was
sorry.
something bad.
I don't know any shit ones.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
Dez,
that was that for New Zealand bodyboarding on the internet. That was all I knew.
True.
And then it was probably some crap on like some surfing sites.
No, there was a bodyboarding site. Do you remember that one? It was.
Oh no, am I burning someone here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, you're not intentionally burning anyone, but there was. It was called New Zealand Litters.
Oh
Remember that one?
right, yeah.
And it was like an. I don't know if it was after isolated or was before.
NZ Litters. That rings a bell though.
And it had a similar, like it had photos. It had. I don't think it had forum though, but it was low budge. No disrespect, but when we talk about isolated,
definitely
it was, a different caliber. But yeah, there was New Zealand Litters, and there was,
cool.
Anyway, Karen.
Yeah. To be honest, there might have been some others in the ecosystem, like the ECBs and stuff. Like there might have been a bunch.
There might have been some,
but you know, it was hard to find. Well, yeah, search engines weren't what they are these days, and I don't know. Yeah, there might have been a bunch. I'm sorry.
That's all good. How quick did it blow up for you?
Just because for me, I couldn't find anything, so I wanted to make a thing, and then I was coming up with because I was always into the brands and making your own brand thing, and I was like, what's a good brand name for bodyboarding? And I thought, oh yeah, we're like outcasts in the scene, like compared to surfers, we were like losers, so isolated. And then when New Zealand's isolated too, and I was like, that's perfect, isolated.
Fuck, you nailed
so
that,
came up with that. I was
absolutely nailed that.
I got the name. Yeah, I think I've nailed the name, and then
did nail that name.
And then just started. Man, I can't even remember what it looked like. I can't remember what the header looked like. I think I used impact, and then just closed up the kerning. I think it was kerning. Squashed it up. I think that kind of remained the logo for a long time. Can't remember if there was a bodyboarder or silhouette in there. Maybe. All I can think of is the inverted logo now, which is probably exactly what it looked like. I can't remember. I know I had the dark blue color scheme. I think. Yeah. That was from the ECB days.
Yeah, and then it went darker, I think.
Navy blue, yeah, and then, and I think we started with a photo gallery. That was the main thing.
Yeah, I think it was
that we wanted to do because we were trying to put up. This was before you couldn't even think about putting up video.
Do you remember the first photo that was ever uploaded?
Oh, that's a good question. If I find that
hard drive, but you can't remember it out of your brain.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
nah.
Because for me, because I'm so West Coast centric, I remember Jade Goldie posted up some video stills of Blako's.
Yeah,
and it was pumping.
Yeah, right.
4 foot, absolutely cooking. And I remember I jumped on Ice Lad and I was like, oh my God. this is so sick. And it
Yeah.
started fizzing me up.
So you didn't know about those stills until you saw it on the website?
Nah,
Oh, wow. And you
I
lived
didn't
in the
know.
same town?
Maybe not at that time.
Okay.
I was probably in Gisborne or Christchurch
Oh, okay.
or Auckland or Wellington. I don't know. I was all over the show. Because yeah,
You're
I
right.
bailed from Blaketown, Greymouth at 96.
Mm-hmm.
So I was away for. I didn't move back to Greymouth. I'd go back to Greymouth like holidays, like Christmas holidays and extended summer holidays, but I didn't move back full time until 2004.
Right.
So
Okay.
basically, for me, 96 to 2004, I was an intermittent going home
Yeah.
traveler.
So you were kind of isolated.
You might say that. I was all over the show.
Boom.
Fucking isolated. What a good name, bro. That's so clever that you actually just thought of that. That's really cool. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm a pretty clever guy.
You are a clever guy, and I don't actually know. Has anyone ever thanked you for isolated? Because I'm going to right now.
I'm sure, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, bro.
Thank you so much for isolated.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was one of the coolest things in my life on the internet.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I'd say a lot of people
Cheers,
feel
man.
feel the same
I
way.
appreciate that because
Good.
I really do. I'm sure, yeah, a lot of the boys over the years did thank me as well, like
Good.
Chris
Cool.
Gardens and your Hayden
Hayden
and Parsons
Lucy's.
and all them. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon they
They were huge contributors.
And they were huge
I'll never
contributors,
forget the garden when garden jumped
Oh,
on
yeah.
there.
That was a
Oh my god.
revolution, wasn't
Oh
it?
my god.
Okay, now we're world legitimized.
Yeah.
Like
Now we're actually on the world stage.
he could make like a 2-foot day moment of like awesomeness look amazing.
Yeah.
But when we're dicking around with our mini DV cams trying to capture the moment,
the mini DVs.
and you're missing shit because we're just terrible videographers or whatever. And he was getting it, man. That was huge.
He upgraded his tech and he actually studied the craft of photography.
Yeah.
And he started composing these shots
crazy,
and the locations that they got.
Yeah.
Like when he started to hit the Catlins, it was like, oh my God, actually New Zealand bodyboarding's on the world stage now.
Yeah.
Hey.
All of a sudden,
Greymouth,
not the best.
True, but not true.
It was a lot more accessible.
It's so accessible. Like you can surf Blaketown 300 days of the year. Unfortunately, you probably can't surf Skellies.
No. You just swan dry in a Hilux
oh my god!
And no life, no family, and a lot of time and money on your hands.
So true.
Like holy shit, man. But
we missions, you would have done a few catos, missions back in the day.
Yeah, man.
At least 5 to 10.
Yeah. I'd say
more.
I'd say so. 5 to 10, maybe more.
Probably more. Yeah, 12. 13.
Some of them were like
skunk fests.
Some of them, were like, we'd go from Dunedin and then back, but mostly being Dunedin.
Yeah.
It's hard. This is where I wish I had the Henry Rollins brain.
Yeah.
He's got every single one of his shows in a spreadsheet.
What?
Yes, since he started, like, and as nerdy as that sounds, how cool would that information be to have?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I'd done a bunch. I mean, Wellsy would have gone the most. Out of the Christchurch crew.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would have been second. No, the big wave surfer homie.
I know him quite well. Dougie, yeah.
Yeah, he did it way before us.
Yeah, he was a pioneer.
And then our scholastics coach, I have to give him a shout out too, but his name escapes me right now. He had a surf school in Christchurch.
Lockie.
Thank you. Shout out Lockie. Yeah, legend.
Lockie's still shredding on the bug and the stick.
That makes me so happy. Hell yeah, dude.
What's his name? Wally. Surfers Walls. What's his name? I had a mental blank. See, I'm good with some names, and then
Doesn't help that we're drinking beers.
yeah, fuck. He's just brought out a book. He brings out tabletop books every like 2 or 3 years.
Oh wow, photographer.
Yeah, from Christchurch, older guy. Oh, mental blank. Fuck. I don't want to pick up my phone and cheat. Wazza.
Yeah.
Warren Clark. Warren. It's Wazza. Anyway, so Wazza's brought out his latest book, and it stars Aaron Locke in one of the first 3 center spreads, and it's him surfing, a fabled East Coast wave that we shall not talk about on the north side of the coast.
Oh yeah, okay.
One of those.
The one I've never ridden before.
Oh really? Haven't you?
No.
Oh, fuck, that's crazy.
Can we talk about that real quickly?
Yeah. I've surfed it once.
So once I stopped bodyboarding,
yeah,
our crew became privy to that spot.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. And
what happened?
Wow,
You'd stopped.
Yeah.
Oh my god! What the fuck? That's a cock tease for you.
Yeah.
Is it on the list?
I missed out on a lot.
Is it on the list for you?
It is now. I've got a pair of fins that my missus
making a comeback, bro.
That my missus just bought me a week ago, and
is Paulus making a comeback? I think Paulus is making a comeback.
And I also need to show you this. So,
Did you get that booking that I sent you for Urban Surf? Did you jump on that or not?
Oh no, I don't have my gear yet.
Oh fuck!
But I've got this little list here.
He's got a bodyboard list
from
here.
The first. So my
inverted.
Yeah, my girlfriend's trying to and
motivate you,
and another mate's bringing me out of retirement.
Yes,
because he's been trying to get me out in the water as well, and I think they've teamed up and they're buying me gear. So
yes,
Sarah Churchill's rocked up the other day in a box. I don't even think I've ever seen them in a box.
Neither,
which was really cool.
Never
brand new.
Actually, keep that box.
I definitely got all my shit secondhand. Apart from Anyway, she's like, "Oh, what board do you want?" I was like, "I have no idea what boards there are these days and stuff." So I was like, the only thing I know is NMD and like Polypro and that Dowcore that we used to call it Dowcore. I think they might be PE now. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Dow was always PE.
Okay, there's PE.
PE is Dow.
So I think I need, and I'm just going to hand you this.
Okay.
So if you're on a I'm
not going to go shopping for you.
So if you're on a budget, so I've just got like the search of like NMD boards.
Nice.
And I've got one in mind, but like if you're,
I can give you some expertise.
So if money's like
tight,
not tight, we're on a budget.
Right.
What would you get? And like you can. So there's only about 5 rows here, I think. So you can just flick through them, and then what was your last question? Because I can try and fill in while you're looking, because I want to see if you pick the same as me.
Okay, so I'll have a look through here. I'll have a look through here while I ask your last question, and the last question would be has to do with we're gonna have just before we finish. We're gonna have to do a reheat.
We're gonna do another one
because we need to talk about your.
We'll do it after the punk show.
Your music career, your art career, what you're doing here in Melbourne at the moment with your awesome studio that you're leasing out with all these little nooks and crannies is fucking sick.
Cool.
But I guess we've just sort of started with isolated and bodyboarding centric and tantric.
This has
tantric sex too, just so you know.
I wish I could have been more helpful on that one, but
on tantric.
Yeah.
Well, you could be helpful later.
Maybe the next podcast will be 8 hours long.
Yeah, we'll see. So my last question is about isolated website.
Yeah.
Out of that whole website, because it went for a while, man. It went from like fucking.
I think I might know what the question. No, sorry, go on. Go on.
I'm not going to talk about the shit thread.
Okay. Is it not forum related? Is it forum related?
No.
Okay, good.
But it could be with your answer.
No, go on. All right.
What is your biggest highlight?
Oh, okay.
And it could be forum related. What for you, like when you look back on the isolated website, what do you look back and go, fuck, that had a lot of action. I really thought that was awesome. It could have been a photo. It could have been just the development of the site. What do you think? And I'll have a look for a board for you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
Biggest highlight.
yeah, biggest highlight. So at first it was how the photo gallery started becoming, and it got there was the bar was pretty low. So
Yeah.
as soon as there were like a couple of dope photos from, it started South Island, then some North Island guys got on, put some North Island photos up, and then and that was the initial first highlight. Like, oh my god, now we have somewhere where there's photos of New Zealand waves,
yeah.
which only existed on surfing websites before that. The main one I'm going to say is it connected people, the way it connected people, which was real quick and real fast and so cool. Like people started reaching out, and and then I'm kind of doing this in tears, but yeah, you concentrate on your on your task.
I'm just going to stitch you up. You should just get a drop knee board, mate.
I think you're just taking
Have you ever been into drop knee?
You're taking the easier way out. I've given it a crack. Yeah.
Have you actually mastered it?
Oh, no way, dude. No
You've
way.
given it a crack.
No way.
Has it ever been something that you've thought, fuck, I wouldn't mind doing?
Yeah, it looks so fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it still could be a thing.
So yeah, the main highlight was the way it connected people from all around, connected bodyboarders from all around New Zealand that never would have. We didn't even know each other existed.
Yeah.
And then there's another tier of highlight, which was it kind of prompted us to start our own competition.
The isolated competition,
which I will end on, which basically was the first time you guys had yours for ages.
Oh, the Blako's one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But kind of the tour, I guess. We tried to do the tour for
that's
for
right.
a second.
Yeah, in conjunction with Kevy and that.
But we did. I mean, actually, yeah, we didn't do shit. That was already a thing.
So I can answer this question.
Connecting people was the first thing.
Just get any one of these being player boards, mate. They'll do.
Doesn't matter about the core.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll be sweet.
Thanks, bro.
And also, but nah, seriously, how much money do you want to spend? Because that's the biggest question. If you want to spend,
I'm gonna go
3 and 4.
So the one I picked was
that the NMD?
This 250 one. It's
Bro, that's
250 bucks.
Yep, it's Polypro.
PP.
It's stiff in winter, but it'll be mint for summer.
Yeah.
So
my thing was always like the water's colder in New Zealand, so we always got Dow.
Yeah.
But now I'm in New Zealand at PP, but I'm fucking always freezing here. So who knows?
Do you know that like we don't have the choice for PE anymore? So I'm riding Polypros all year round.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, done.
Cheers.
Last question. Favorite forum thread?
Dickies. No, that was a person.
Nicky's, wasn't it?
Oh, Nicky's.
That was old mate's ballsack, wasn't it?
Nicky's. Favorite forum thread.
There's so many. That could be a whole podcast.
I can answer it by saying, it was too overwhelming because I was trying to manage the website. So
my favorite thread was the shit stories thread, the poo chat.
Oh yes,
it had like over I don't know how many hundreds of posts on that.
Yes, that was my favorite.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, you're just saying that.
Yeah,
you agree with me.
We'll continue in part 2.
Bye bye. See ya. Well done, son. Well done.